everybody. Thanks so much for having us. As they said, I'm Maggie Counter, Director of Customer Success at Invoca, and we've been partnering with Telium and these wonderful people for 5 years now. Yep. So we've got some really great stories to share with you, and we're really excited. For those of you not familiar, Invoca is a technology that helps customers like AT&T and DirecTV connect the digital session-level data to what's happening in the call channel, so that you can have a really synthesized connection for all of your campaigns. The topic of today's speech is turning digital velocity into omnichannel velocity. We're going to talk about why it matters, what these teams have built, and what's next for them in 2026. First off, why is omnichannel important to you? HIP. What does omnichannel mean for marketing for AT&T?
Sure. So at AT&T, we want to look at omnichannel as a lot of platform systems think from the data standpoint. We want to look at it beyond it. We want to think of omnichannel as omnichannel experience. And what it means is we put customers first and want to make sure that the omnichannel measurements we are obtaining from different platforms is able to enhance and improve the customer's experience on our website, but also at stores and also as well as direct mails that we send out. So we're trying to find friction points across all the channels and help us improve that. And that's kind of how we define omnichannel at AT&T.
Great. And Nesby, how does that show up for you at DirecTV?
Yeah. So for us at DirecTV, it's super important, right? From a philosophy standpoint, customers don't speak in channels, right? They just move, right? They're fragmented. So we want to be able to meet them wherever they are within their journey, right? They may do research online, right? Follow over to our brand page, build a cart, and then pick up the phone and make a call, right? And so it's kind of a typical journey for us, but we pride ourselves on our work that we do in terms of capturing attribution. For example, leveraging Invoca, we capture a lot of that pre-call data, so like campaign level tracking, session level tracking, whatever is on the website, right? On to even passing that pre-context to an agent, right? We've had some amazing results over the years with related to our agents. Increasing their conversion rate over the phone by like 110% that we saw. But there's still gaps that we see, right? Things like tracking our 1-800 DirecTV vanity number, right? Within our commercials, or just looking at other call center interactions, right? That just can't fully be tied back. So those are the moments where we have limited visibility into the context of the call or just our data in general, and then therefore, we can't optimize in our paid media campaigns downstream. So that's
great.
Why it's kind of important for us, because we really leverage and lean into it.
That's great. Now, how have you leveraged Invoca and Telium to deliver an omnichannel experience? HIP, talk us through the CAPIs that you work with and the results that you've seen by integrating those CAPIs.
Sure. The first part about CAPI is, I think it's eventually mature to the point where we can talk about CAPI. Before CAPI, it had different names. It was server to server, server-side conversions, and eventually I think Meta picked up the name of Conversion API, which forced other platforms and systems to start opening up their backend systems. And thanks to that, we're able to engage and start a lot of alpha testing with a lot of our media partners. We can provide them very important insights. And then this captures not only the online, but offline. So going back to the omnichannel, we are providing them insights as similar to Nesby from call centers. We can provide them insights of what was the customer's resolution on the phone, why they called. So with help of Invoca, we were able to set a test with our DCL platform, where we were able to test and improve our conversion rate by enhancing our decision tree to display correct messaging, correct promotions. That's kind of provided that uniform experience to the customer. And it improved our conversion rate on Amazon by 40%, and then with DV360 by roughly 20%. So overall, we've seen a great success enabling Invoca through Telium and along with our media partners.
Do you have a sense for what % of your conversions come from the call channel?
Yes. So roughly unfortunately, most of our conversions do come from offline channels. So it is very important for us to be able to capture the data. But again, it's not only from the performance perspective of the media spend, but also of the customer experience. We want to know that they are feeling the same treatment when they are in the store and online. So we don't get conflicting promotions. But when it comes to call center, we roughly still about a third of our conversions happen through call centers, and 70% or so actually happens offline. So it's still a big bulk of our presence to be offline.
That explains why attribution is so important for you guys.
Yes, and very challenging because there's not a lot of digital footprint in the offline world, and Invoca is definitely helping us stitch that 30% that we are missing.
That's great. Now, Nesby, same question for your side. Specific to the Telium CAPI, what work to change for your team once you integrated it?
It's a great question. As I mentioned, we're strong in our attribution, right? So we were already having some of these, like we had these programs in place through Invoca. Where Telium helped us scale, right, leveraging it, moving from point to point to a more centralized approach, right? So speaking of like offline conversions, when we implemented the CAPI, us sending that offline conversion data down to our walled gardens or platforms such as Meta, that's where we saw some success there, right? What we learned is on a test we ran within the Meta platform, when we combined both our offline and online conversion metrics, we saw a 2x lift in our conversion. So yeah, that's immediate lift, combining those two data points, if you will.
And I remember days not too long ago when measuring Meta in that way was really difficult. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, even just things like simple suppression, right? You have an existing customer, why are you marketing to them? Retargeting, things of that nature. I think Telium kind of opened doors for some of our media partners to be able to understand like what the importance of having that offline data.
That's great.
Yep.
All right, now, how are you looking to expand those use cases in 2026? Nesby, you've got the foundation. What's the ambition for next year?
Yeah, we've been thinking very hard on it, right? We have success within our acquisition channels. So for us, the next step naturally is just to get more into our service ecosystem. We see real opportunity there, especially around our retention and loyalty type of programs, simple, not having to repeat yourself type use cases. I already know who you are. Why aren't we passing that context downstream? And handling potential churn customers with care, right? Like you already have those signals and indicators. So I think those are huge opportunities for us to kind of lean in more on. We do have small test cases out there, and that's where we're seeing the results, where we want to now expand more into our ecosystem from an integration standpoint to help our existing customer partners.
Scale and replicate.
There you go.
All right, Hip, what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to Nesby. I could just say ditto, but very similar. We have tests out there, and going back to customer journey, again, omnichannel experience, and we trying to, as we move into next quarter and second half, not too far away, we want to be able to provide more actionable insights to more places and faster. And that's something that Invoca is able to help us from the call center standpoint. And this is where Telium real-time API is helping us. And again, without the API in place, I don't think we'll be able to provide the data. But at the same time, we are delivering the data from our team pretty quick. So now we have to work upstream and work with our data sourcing team to provide the data to us faster so we can process it on time and provide useful insights that can be actionable at the right time rather than delayed. But kind of that's where we are. We're trying to scale the little test that we have with everything real time to pretty much nationwide setup.
Are you seeing real-time data delivery being more important over the next few months?
Yes. So again, to provide the customer with the journey that we want to, like the single experience, we cannot have them see different promotion, different things at the store and online. It has to be unified. So we are looking at more unified experiences, and to achieve that, we try to get to real time as fast as possible. Along with that, as far as the consent and legal team allow us to do.
That's a great segue. How did you know? How do you ensure consent is captured and tracked across channels? How do you handle the scale side of consent?
Sure. So as other panelists mentioned, customer time is valuable as well as the data. And they're not gonna just give us the data if we don't provide the experience they're looking for or the products that they're interested in. So our ways of scaling it and measuring it is, again, trying to capture at least from the legal and consent standpoint, everything in real time. Outside of Invoca helping us capture the digital footprints that Nesby mentioned, so they network setup, they browser setup, they cookie consent, or the consent on our website answers. We also do real-time cross-check with our do not sell list from both online standpoint, and now with Invoca, we're actually doing also with call centers. So the call center agents know and aware what was the customer's consent settings, and based on that, correct data, correct settings are provided to the agents to provide the customer's support that they're asking for.
That's great. And Nesby, how does DirecTV treat consent as infrastructure instead of as an afterthought?
So from a consent standpoint, the way MarTech, our team, how we treat it, is more as a more real-time and foundational aspect of things, right? So we use Snowflake as our source of truth. However, consent needs to be managed with immediacy, right? And I think that's where Telium comes in. And few of our team members are here in the crowd. John on our team who handles this, but he's working or has been working to scale this out, where we're capturing and enforcing consent right within the Telium layer before activation downstream, and so Telium is helping us to scale this out, right? Thus allowing us to be able to respect customer preferences.
I'd imagine that's a big operational savings compared to what it was before with individual lists on each platform.
Absolutely.
Marketing channel.
Just being able to communicate it across platforms and like I said, immediacy, right? Real time. So yes. Agreed.
Sounds like a huge unlock.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Now, can you share how DirecTV uses Invoca and Telium Audience Stream to turn call signals into actions on other channels?
Yeah. I'm going to share a use case. One that we've been working on. It's fairly new. What we are calling a disgruntled customer. This is us taking our stab at taking language and sentiment signals from Invoca, right? And passing that downstream into Telium, of course, creating audiences where, so let me take a step back, the disgruntled customer, right? These signals or things that we're capturing on the customer is basically us identifying when somebody has had a poor experience. We're taking that data and passing it into Telium, creating that audience, as I mentioned. Within that audience, we're basically quarantining them for a period of time. What this does is allow us like a cool down period, so that way we're not sending messaging or upsell or marketing messaging to somebody who just had a bad experience on the phone, right? So yeah, fun use case. We're still rolling this out across channels and teams, but I kind of see this scaling at some point in the near future.
That's great. It's good to see how you're taking it from just a acquisition focus and thinking more about how it applies to customers and ensuring the experience is really good.
This is definitely going to support the service expansion, right? It's taking existing customer data and then passing it along down to the service call centers.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so this is, we're nearing the end. We're gonna start playing music soon, I'm sure. So quick lightning round. One sentence from each of you on what's one thing you would tell somebody from a marketing team who has not yet done this. They haven't integrated the call center channel with digital channel. What would you say, Hip?
I missed a part of one sentence, so I have a full paragraph. But I think if it be one sentence is, those two worlds can exist individually, but they have coexisted so long that there is an intersection when they would meet. So even if you're keeping those two separate, there's an intersection. You need to figure out where that intersection is, and then from there identify what data to use to merge those two worlds in that intersection. And then the part of how is, we're working with the great partners at Invoca and Telium to get this addressed. So that's my broken one sentence.
Great run-on sentence. Nesby.
Yeah, I keep it short. If your offline and online data is separate, then you're not just missing out on data, you're probably more than likely making the wrong decisions downstream or not optimizing effectively on your ad spend.
Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you both.
Thank you.